Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Matt from Broco.
Hey, it's Ivory from Brooklyn.
Hey, man. So, how you doing today?
Man, it's been a busy day, a lot of work, a lot of meetings. It's Friday, it's Good Friday, but hey, I'm happy to be here, bro. How about you?
I'm pretty good, man. Pretty good, pretty good. Just getting some tint done. So that's probably why you see a different background today. But just to kind of hop into the video today, we're talking about how to really connect and meet more friends, both professionally and personally. And I'll be honest, I'm gonna defer a little bit more to Ivo in this video because he has a lot more experience than I do in this. I guess we kind of tackle professionally, right? Like what would you recommend for people to do if they were trying to make more friends, move into a new city and even your current city, you trying to make more friends professionally, what would you recommend?
Yeah, so I think it's a great thing that people are still in the digital age, want to get offline and connect with people and meet new friends. So I always say the first thing I always do is like a self-analysis. I always kind of look at myself and say, one, am I a friendly person? If I'm trying to connect with new brothers, new people, am I prickly? Am I friendly? Am I inviting? Or is my disposition or demeanor, does it invite people into my life? Or am I repelling people? Or like, am I getting people like off-ramping people like, oh man, like, yeah, every time when I see that guy, he got an attitude, he complaining all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, it seems like he don't have much going on. So I would say, first and foremost, I would take a self-inventory to myself and say, okay, Ivory, would you be Ivory's friend? Right. So
Yeah,
that's the
yeah,
first thing I would think is just looking at myself, am I friend worthy? Right. So I think because we can break down what a friend, the characteristics of a friend. But before I go there, I always like to start with myself. What about you, man?
I think one of the things too is that you got to stay away. You can't be this guy. You got to stay away from this kind of guy, like the dudes who come to professional places and they only
I can't
looking
hear you,
to.
Matt.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you sound a little bit low.
Yeah, I say when you come to professional settings, man, and you're dealing with guys who are just looking for booty or business opportunities. You don't want to be that guy, and you don't want to associate with those guys. So if you see those guys, get away from them as fast as you possibly can. They're gonna waste your time, and then don't be that guy. So just actually look for actual real connections where you get to connect, talk about what you do, and then just more genuine, it's more open. It's not necessarily like with an angle.
Yeah, yeah. No, I actually agree with that because, I think about it. I like to go to California from time to time. It's like my second home. I love California in particular, but San Diego is a beautiful place, Los Angeles. And I don't know a whole lot of people there, but I have built some networks and built some friends over the years of just going back and forth to California. And one of the things I've noticed personally is I've noticed that the people who got all the friends, let's take it back to high school. People in high school, who were the most popular people, the jocks? You think about the jocks, the football players, the basketball players. What was the one characteristic that you really liked about those people? I mean, they had charisma. They were
Yeah, yeah,
magnetic. They attracted people to them. Maybe it was their smile. Maybe they knew how to tell good stories. Maybe they were just cool and fun to hang around. And I always think about that. Like when I go to different places, it's something that I try to attract people with, like basic things. Like, hey, if you notice something somebody's wearing, like a nice shirt, and you like the shirt, give a genuine compliment. People love
yeah.
compliments. When you say, hey man, that's a nice shirt, man. Where'd you get it from? Oh man, I got it from this place over here, man. It was really dope. Man, you should check it out. And then bam, you got a connection right there. And I
Yeah.
think sometimes it's the smallest things we can do that makes a huge impact and to start to build that relationship with somebody.
Yeah, and one thing I would say too, in terms of making new friends, don't always worry about the new friends being like in your same age group. You may be 35 years old, and then you may meet somebody who's like a mentor friend that's 57. So I wouldn't worry so much about the people being around the same age. I know a lot of people want to kind of connect with their peers, but you might be able to connect with somebody who's 10, 15, 20 years older than you. So I think that's one of the things I learned. Sometimes I had a lot more in common with some of the older guys who were professionals, retired, and we had a lot of better conversations than I did with like people who are close to my age.
Yeah.
And then one thing I would say, make sure people from a professional standpoint have credentials that are similar to yours. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's extremely important because I think sometimes in these groups, people either deal with people who have no professional skill sets, or they come into an environment where they don't necessarily fit in because they're trying to, for lack of a better word, reach off to. It's almost like it's almost like you got an idea for a business and you go into a professional group of lawyers because you're trying to partner with one of them to get your business off the ground. It's
Yeah.
not. You got to have your professional skills should match up. And then people be friendlier towards you because they
Yeah.
don't feel like you're there to get something from them. Like you
Hmm.
said, you don't want to be the only person, what I'm saying, not in a business meeting and you don't even have a business.
Yeah, that'd be pretty awkward, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And I think you're right about that because I was thinking in terms of like like people who like to do the same things generally like those kind of people. So if you
Yeah.
like to play basketball, more than likely you're going to go to the basketball court, and guess what? Bam, you got an instant connection right there because they play basketball, you play basketball together. So it makes it natural. So I like to go to do things that I enjoy. Maybe it's rock climbing, playing basketball, or riding my bike or something like that. And you find people in those areas that like those things anyway. So if you go to a new city, the first thing you're trying to think is like, what's some things that I already like to do, and I can just do it in that city. So again, if you like to play chess, I don't know, whatever you like to do, you want to play chess, go where chess players play, and I guarantee you're going to find somebody that you have something in common with. You guys can talk about the chess, and I don't know nothing about chess, but you get what I'm pointing. You just kind of
Yeah.
connect with in that way, and that's what I did. Like I said, when I started to go to different places, I found places that with things that I already like to do. So if I'm an entrepreneur or whatever, I want to go to business conferences. I want to go to maybe one conference in particular, Funnel Hacking Live. Like that's something that we do in the digital marketing space where there's a lot of people in digital marketing. We probably go to California sometimes, and I don't know these people, they don't know me, but the one thing we got in common is digital marketing. We love digital marketing, and that brings about conversation. It almost brings about like, wow, man, we're not that different than what you think. And some of these people don't look like me. They don't talk like me. They don't come from the same background. But the one thing we got in common that brings us together, something that actually bonds us more than people that do look like me in some cases.
Yeah, it kind of gets into the second point about how to make friends on a personal level. Like I think even what you said, it kind of highlights the fact that the older you get, the thinner the line between professional and personal becomes. Right? Like it's not like when you're in like high school, you might have like your church friends, you might have like your football friends, and you got your friends from the neighborhood. Or when you're younger, you might have college friends, you got your friends at work. Like it kind of becomes a thinner line between professional and personal. So it's kind of like what you said too. Like I know with the personal groups, finding things like you said you enjoy. I know you're really into Tesla. I know you're looking to get one, in the future. Really in a relatively soon. And I know you joined the Tesla group.
Mm-hmm.
For me, like I was I'm into motorcycles to start, kind of get riding with other people around motorcycles, personal things. Eventbrite was always great to kind of find different events to go to. So I think like kind of you said, finding those events, and then also just be conscious of what kind of crowd comes out with those events. Like I said, I ride motorcycles, but I am kind of cautious of what events I go to because, like I said before, the motorcycle crowd, it can be a very interesting crowd. It could be guys who love their motorcycles and buying $40,000 Ducatis, or it could be somebody who stole his bike used from somebody else and paid free
You take
99.
your bike next.
Yeah, he paid free 99.
Free 99.
Free 99. Yeah, he gonna take your bike.
You're like, hey man, that's a nice bike you got over there, man.
Man, I remember one day I was riding with my cousin. We were downtown Detroit. There was this guy. He was like, "Man, I have a Hayabusa." So he was talking about bike. He said, "Yeah, I used to do Amazon delivery. Man, we used to come, man, and I see a bike, man. Man, bro, they had brand new motorcycles just laying out there, just outside, bro. Man, I called my boys. We come snatch that bike up real quick." I was like, "Oh man, I let my bike out like the last 3 or 4 days." I stopped riding. I stopped going around that crowd. So it's like, so it's also making sure that the crowd that you're into, and that may be as simple as being careful about the area you're in. You know what I'm saying? So for instance, it's like if I ride motorcycles, I might ride motorcycles with a certain, professional crowd. And if I want to ride with that crowd, I need to understand what comes with that.
Yeah, I agree. And I would just say to close, like for me, one of the key things, and this is something that I see across all relationships. I mean, relationships are with people, and people require time, energy, and effort. Those are three things that you must. Every relationship requires that: time, effort, and energy. And sometimes I know it's hard. Sometimes, man, you working, you got family, you got stress, you got all kinds of things. The last thing you want to do is get out and go somewhere, have to talk to somebody and network and connect with them. Like that can become cumbersome sometimes. So I would say that we only have a select amount of energy every day. We have to use that energy well. And Matt always say that energy is not gained or lost, but transferred. I think something.
Yeah, transfer.
Yeah, it's transferred. So I would say that you have to be selective on who you connect with. And quick story, because I like to share stories. I have a story that during the pandemic, I was actually out trying to do the same thing. I was actually trying to meet new friends, connect with different people. And, because it was a time where everybody was locked in. So I wanted to get out and connect with people. And I was in this professional group to try to find and connect with people. And sometimes you don't quite fit in places all the time. But I noticed that for me, I put the time I put the energy and the effort into connecting with those people. And it was probably like, I would say like starting off, it was like 30, maybe 30, 40 people. But out of the 30 to 40 people, I only really got cool with maybe like 2 of them. And actually, I only talked to like maybe 1 of them, right, throughout the whole group. So just know the numbers game is going to be slim. Like, you ain't going to connect with everybody that you go to an event. You might think, hey, man, that person's cool. But the other 5, 10 people you just got through talking to, you might not even like them. And so you have to be selective with your time, energy, and effort, and to only kind of focus on people who reciprocate that time, energy, and effort.
Yeah, and kind of in closing and keeping with that spirit, man. If you want to go beat Dubs later on and catch some of the games later on, I had a busy week, so if you want to connect and go to beat Dubs later on, let me know. I know because you and me connect like that all the time when we go grab something to eat. It's kind of, and then kind of, we don't even keep costs of who paid and how much it was. We just kind of go back and forth. But no, I completely agree, man, with everything you said.
Yeah, and last, because I know a lot of people may say, Ivory, man, how did y'all become friends? Or that would be something. So all this feeds back into what we're saying. So I met Matt through his cousin. His cousin had a birthday party. He invited me to the birthday party. I could have been like, you know what, I'm tired, I don't want to go. I could have did all that, but I decided to go. And I said, I want to go because I just wanted to go. I want to go. And I met this guy. I met him, and we connected on a few things. We talked about finances and house, right? On a house.
Yeah.
I was a financial coach at the time, doing financial coaching stuff, and he was doing what he was doing. And we just kind of had a conversation. We talked about home ownership. We talked about personal finance. And guess what? That became like, oh, okay, this guy cool. But we had to follow up from that with time, energy, and effort. What I mean by time, I'm not saying a lot of time, but maybe he'd text me, maybe I'll call him, maybe we'll hang out this day, maybe we'll go here today. But over time, it grew and built into an actual friendship. And then that friendship went to brotherhood. So sometimes, like, you might get a needle in a haystack, but it's not every day that you're going to run across a best friend type brother, a guy that you really connect with. But you got to keep circulating. That's what he did. So, yeah.
No, and then with that, to close it out, one thing that makes me think about that, people are always trying to connect with people who already are, like, if you're trying to elevate your career, people are always trying to connect with somebody in a position of power. They forget just to connect with their peers on the way up. Because you and me didn't know that we'd be doing some of the stuff we're doing now back then.
No.
We're just on this journey. Yeah, we're just on a different journey. We didn't know what journey we didn't know where it was going to take us.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't know we'd be doing some stuff that we're doing now. And I think people forget to connect with people as they're kind of going through things and, and connect with them earlier. That's how you build those strong networks. Where it's just once you get our age, start getting to your 40s, those networks are already, those foundations are kind of locked.
Yeah, locked in box.
Yeah, sorry. So my bad. I'm here, but if anything else you want to say, if not, hope people take some of this information and run with it.
Yeah, and for everybody that watch our videos and things like that, I just hope if you guys want to connect with us, like I said, feel free to like, share, and subscribe to our channel because we got a lot of dope content coming down the pipeline. We ain't going nowhere. This is just getting started. We want to really build a channel where we talk about things that all things relate to men, cars, sports, men's issues. That's what we talk about. And we look forward to just producing more content. So if you guys want to drop something that you want us to talk about specifically on these Friday podcasts, just shoot us, just comment in one of our videos. We'll pick it up and we'll shoot a video on it.
Yeah, definitely. Well, everybody enjoyed the video. Make sure to subscribe, like Ivory said, and take care, everybody.
All right. Peace.